the Jankyard. It's time for a deck tech. I know it's been a while, but I'm excited about this one. So, we're looking at a deck that I actually built on stream recently. And really want to thank our friend Jules204 for helping out with a lot of advice as we dug through this. So, it's similar to a couple decks I had prior to rotation. But it was one new card was the whole reason I wanted to give this a try and mix it up with a bunch of older cards. So here we go. Let's talk. It's called Thassa Has Risen, and you'll see why. Let's start with the new cards. The whole reason we went into this. Thassa Deep Dwelling. Now the big thing is that at the beginning of your end step, exile up to one target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under your control. So, the discussion on the stream was, how about we use Thassa and do something that abuses end of the battlefield triggers? Like I said, I'd already done something in the standard that kind of did abuse some end of the battlefield triggers, and that's because I had a deck that was the focal point was this guy, Yarok the Desecrated, that doubles end of the battlefield triggers for any permanent that triggers a permanent entering the battlefield. If it causes a triggered ability to trigger, you get it a second time. So Thassa can make things happen twice. So definitely the thoughts went to what, kind of what I had done before, discussed this elementals. And so that's where we went. So we wanted to, firstly, we had 3 Healer of the Glade. And I'll tell you, I started with 2, but I took this to a paper tournament and tried it out with 3 healers because I was missing one other card. This was what this wants, because this helps bail your butt out or in the mid to late going. Especially if you don't have any of the really good pieces that you want to blink with Thassa, but you need to get your life total back up, blink this a bit. So I was actually really happy playing this. We need ramp, because we're ramping to some big stuff. So Leafkin Druid for sure. One Paradise Druid for color fixing. Although I gotta say, our mana base is pretty solid. Okay, it's not solid. It's adventurous. It's 4 colors, but it has worked fairly well so far. Paradise Druid is just a little extra insurance. It is not an elemental, so that's something that hurts, but other than that, it's fine. Then you've got 4 Cloudkin Seer, just great at drawing cards. 3 Frost Links, and not all opponents is worthwhile. I mean, you play against blue-white control, they're not going to have a lot of creatures early on. So, we went with 3 on that. But still, I mean, if you've got a Yarok out, and you can just go boom, boom, that's great. Risen Reef, though, is phenomenal. Risen Reef is just still a great card. Yarok doubling its triggers. If you blink a different elemental, like a healer, with Thassa, and you've got Risen Reef out, well, okay, now you're going through your deck more. Can't talk enough about it. Here's a solid card. I haven't played it much in testing this deck so far, but I think it's still pretty solid to have as Spark Double. I would think that you can make a second Omnath, a second Nissa, a second Yarok, because when it copies a creature or planeswalker, it is not legendary, the copy. So that allows you to have a second Omnath. That's really crucial. Yep, there's Thassa. It's a 6/5 indestructible that needs devotion of 5 to be a creature. I've gotten it there once or twice, but not often. But also that ability, if you've got a lot of mana sitting up and you're not doing much, the ability to tap something for 3 in a blue is solid. Scampering Scorcher. It's a 1 of. Maybe it could stand to be more, but just we have other good stuff to play. But I did want one so that, you know, if you blink it, you make more tokens. And the more tokens, the merrier, because that helps set off Omnath. Omnath can be the big finisher here. And I found myself sometimes just hanging back. You know, like I've got enough creatures to be blockers. My trades wouldn't be great if I attacked. I'm going to hang back. And then, you know, if I get Omnath, well, I can do, depending on how many elementals I've got out, 4, 5, 6, 7 to your dome. If I have Yarok, we can double that. And then if we have Thassa, we can blink it. Omnath is just great. One Nissa. I don't want a lot in there, but she is helpful. It does help with ramp for sure, and getting those extra elemental creatures, because those forests those lands that you turn into 3/3s, they are elementals, and so it's really strong in the especially the triggering of Omnath, because those trees, when you turn them into elementals, they're not entering the battlefield. So they do not set off Risen Reef. They don't have any of the battlefield triggers like that. But what they do is... that sounded awful. Anyways, well, what they do is just add to the elemental total for Omnath when it comes on and you want to dome somebody or wipe out a creature of theirs. Yarok the Desecrated. How I love this card. It's Panharmonicon on a stick. Plus, it's got the Death Touch and the Lifelink. But just that ability to double ETB triggers is tremendous. One Chandra just to, you know, keep your opponent at bay a bit. If they're not playing elementals, burn them a little bit. It's a useful, very useful card. Now, the last one is a last piece of jank. Now, remember, this is the Jankyard. We're going to play jank. So, I only have 2 because it's a big card, mana-wise. I don't want to go overboard, but Mirror March. Because if you blink, say, an Omnath, or a Frostlinks, and then you flip the coin, you get a couple extras. Oh, you know, a couple more Omnath triggers. Say I get 2 more Omnaths through Mirror March. Oh, I got 4 more Omnath triggers. Or I get, you know, with Frostlinks, I get 4 more Frostlinks. And if they've got a whole bunch of creatures, I can just tap them all down, lock them down. Mirror March is silly. It's downright silly when it goes off, which doesn't always happen. Actually, doesn't often happen. And if I'm, like, especially if I'm facing a speedy mono red deck, it's out. Chandra usually too. I've got to slow down the curve. But it's cute. It's fun. At the Jankyard, we like cute. We like fun. So, very much like that. Now, let's take a look at the mana base. It's interesting. We have 2 Fabled Passage. Only 2, because we don't want to play a lot of basics. So, we're running 4 basics. 1 island, 1 swamp, 1 mountain, 1 forest. Then we have 2 Watery Graves, 2 Steam Vents, 2 Temple of Epiphany. We've got quite a few temples, and I found them quite useful for digging away. A Blood Crypt, 2 Overgrown Tombs, 2 Stomping Grounds, a Temple of Abandon. Blue and green are your big color pairs. That's why we've got 4 Breeding Pools and 3 Temples of Mystery. So, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun. And we got a sideboard here. Let's take a look. This is just a lot of stuff in these 4 colors that are just good reactive cards. Mystic Repeal, Aether Gust, Lava Coil, Assassin's Trophy, a couple Mystical Dispute, a couple Storm's Wrath, 1 Perforos's Intervention, and I'm tempted to go to 2. I've done 2 in paper. I mean, the fun thing with Perforos's Intervention is, yes, you can have it deal twice X damage to target creature with Planeswalker, which is wonderful and does good work. Or you can make an X1 red elemental creature token with Trample and Haste and blast in. That's also quite useful. And then we have Nylea's Intervention. This is here strictly to deal with Dream Trawler. Dream Trawler, you can't target. You can't... Well, I mean, unless your opponent's empty-handed, then you can target it. But it's very, very challenging to deal with. But Nylea's Intervention hits it. Because it just says deals twice damage to each creature with flying. It doesn't target them. You know, they can't make it hexproof. Well, they can make it hexproof, but it doesn't matter. So that's why I really like Nylea's Intervention. And that, my friends, is Thassa Has Risen. Because she truly, truly has risen. So I'm really excited about this deck. Like I said, I've played it in paper. I've played it online. Do check out our most recent Jank Light of the Week. That's a new segment we're doing, but we're doing a game. We're going to be doing a game that features this deck and just how things can go crazy. I want to thank everybody for joining me here at the Jankyard. If you like what you see, please subscribe. Check us down below. Subscribe, like, hit the bell to let you know when we put up new videos. Also want to let you know, check out the Jank Light of the Week, which will be coming up on YouTube soon as well. We'll be starting on YouTube our weekly audio-only podcast. And also, we've got some articles coming up soon on our website, which is jankyardmtg.com. You can email me at jankyardmtg@gmail.com. And you can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, jankyardmtg, and at jankyardm on Twitter. And most importantly, check out the streams. We're streaming at least twice a week, sometimes 3. We're definitely out on Wednesdays and Sundays. We often try to do some standard. We might mix it up with some Pioneer or some Draft, but we always have a lot of fun. And please check out our social media when we announce when we're going to be starting. So I'm really excited. I love this deck, and I hope you enjoy it too. And I hope everybody, I hope you get a chance to give it a try and let me know what happens. Let me know if you get some ideas for tweaking. Always appreciate ideas for fine tuning. So once again, I'm JT. This has been the Jankyard, and this has been Thassa Has Risen. Thanks to everybody for coming to check it out, and we'll see you very soon.